I had never seen a murder like that of Christine Ambani. It was not about how the scene of crime looked like. If anything, it was one of the cleanest. But the details of the happenings before and after the murder were unsettling. Now Murder Tapes can report that a phone call to Christine inside a guest house where the 23-year-old reportedly met an ex-prisoner may have contributed to her murder. Among the things that will lead police knocking on innocent Kalio's door was a WhatsApp emoji. Welcome to Murder Tips, an emoji and a murder. I am Brian Obuya. It was Monday, the 12th day of July 2021. Hundreds of students of Kireri Women University were to start streaming into the school compound from as early as 7 a.m. The previous week, the school had announced the beginning of exams. Among the students set to start the exams that afternoon were Sylvia Awino and Christine Ambani.
So nikamtext, nikamwambia like niko opposite restaurant hapo hivi mahali penye niko, I'm taking some fries, harakisha turudi shule because tulikuwa na exam hiyo siku around 4.
But the two girls had other plans before the afternoon paper. Christine, struggling to start a new relationship and working hard to end a current one, lived a few blocks from her classmate Sylvia. She passed by her place that morning. As she did, she wasn't as broke. Her sister had sent her some money.
On 11th, I was traveling to Nairobi. I had talked with my sister through phone. She was asking for some pocket fee. I sent her some cash. Then I was expecting her reply back to say thanks, but she never said anything. So the following day, she didn't say anything. On WhatsApp, she was not active, and that was so uncommon of her.
She was supposed to go and pick a parcel from Innocent, of which their first meeting point, there's a certain hotel hapo hivyo side za Mwimbi, ukikuja Mwihoko. But Innocent ndo alifika wa kwanza, then akasema haoni magari za kukuja huko, no pikipiki, the motorbikes wanataka pesa mob. So akasema like wakutane na Christine Gidurai. That's how we ended up with Christine pamoja. Jitungefaa tutoke pamoja, so ni yange shuka wa kwanza. Mimi nikiproceed. Sasa hizo ndo tukaenda na yeye Gidurai.
And so the setting of this story is in the bustling streets of Githurai neighborhood. A tragic story of betrayal and murder unfolds. Christine Ambani, a bright student with a promising future, met her untimely end in ways that both the prosecution and defense continue to find difficult to litigate. Nairobi, a city of contrasts. In the heart of Kenya, where ambition meets opportunity, life moves at a relentless pace. But within its bustling streets, stories of love, betrayal, and tragedy often go untold, but they are mentioned from time to time. When a young woman is killed, the most likely person to be arrested will be the boyfriend, and the vice versa has over the years proven to be true. On a seemingly ordinary morning in July 2021, Christine Ambani, a vibrant university student, walked into this lodging, unaware that it would be the last time anyone ever saw her alive. Even her friend Sylvia, who went to get her hair done, had a different idea about the whereabouts of Christine.
Before tutoke kwa nyumba, kumbuka they were supposed to meet a certain restaurant hapo hivyo Mumbi, but inondo alichange plan.
The girls kept in communication throughout the early morning hours, up until about 2 p.m.
She was the first person to text me like kama nimefika salon, all that. Okay, we were chatting hiyo period nimekuwa salon. So I was supposed to meet her like after nishamaliziwa. I tried looking for her. Kwa hivyo ndo saa hakuwa na. I tried calling her. Hivyo ndo saa hakuwa anashika simu. Anashika akistop. So ile time nimwambia nimaliziwa, nakuja. Join where they were. Walikuwa hiyo side ya 44. There is a restaurant hapo hivyo. Ni juu ya Equity. Ni juu ama sijui ni kando ya Equity. Hapo hivyo. So I knew where they were. So nikamtext, nikamwambia like niko opposite restaurant hapo hivi mahali penye mko. I'm taking some fries. Harakisha turudi shule because we had tulikuwa na exam hiyo siku around 4. Sasa hapo hivyo ndo sasa hakushika. Na mcall ikaenda missed call several times. So mimi nikaona wacha niende home kwanza atanifuata. I needed to rest. Pia hiyo pain yenye nimetoka kusongwa nayo nywele ya day 1. Sasa akanicall kama niko almost kufika. Kufika Mwihoko. She used her number. Akaniambia ati wanatoka. Akaniuliza first like niko wapi, nikamwambia I tried calling her but hakuwa nashika simu but nimeamua niende. So like hiyo nifuate tu mbele. Akasema sawa. Then nika ref tena after some time nikampigia. Akaniambia ametoka anakuja. Na mimi nikamwambia sawa. So that time ilikuwa tu nimetoka nimekuja, sijui ina ameenda kulipa bills. Mara sijui nimepeleka kupanda gari. At first sijui alikuwa ameenda kulipa bills. Tena nampeleka stage apande gari za kurudi Thika. Hivyo tu ndo venye alikuwa na communicate.
The two had talked extensively about her meeting with the Mount Kenya University student Innocent Makoha Kalio. He was no stranger to them. Kalio had expressed interest in handing over a gift to Christine. To them, Kalio was her ex-lover.
Now that she has made up her mind that she doesn't want to continue to have a relationship with him, he had bought him a present from Jumia, and they were to meet in a hotel and just to say a bye for the good time they had together, and just to part ways in harmony, like they are not going to have any kind of fights. So they organized the bash, and also Sly confirmed to me like Christine is going to meet someone who is the ex, and we were aware it was Innocent. So the conversation that Innocent had, it was between Christine and him alone. But Chriso talked to me, and he also talked to Sly.
So sijui kama yeye she finally saw the parcel hiyo from Jumia ndio alikuwa anaendea. Mimi sikujua nini. Sasa sijui kama hiyo parcel ndio ilikuwa kifo, I don't know.
Sylvia says that Miss Ambani had disclosed to her that she was high on something. This was about 2 p.m. The exam was just 2 hours away.
She told me she had taken something which I don't, hakuniambia ni nini, but ana feel ako poa. Then I told her, pia we kuja na hiyo kitu chukua, tuende exam tukiwa happy hot.
She did not know. At this time, Sylvia would rush to school several minutes after the paper started. She discloses that she even committed an academic crime, hoping that Chriso, as they called her, would show up tomorrow for her next paper. As the day drew closer to the end, Sylvia became more worried about Christine and her whereabouts. The exam was over, and she realized she had missed calls from a number Christine had earlier said was Innocent's. On returning the calls, Christine said she was on her way. The time was 7:30 p.m. that Monday. But there was something off about that answer. Earlier at about 4:30 p.m., Christine had said she's seeing off Innocent to take public transport It's now 7:30 p.m. and she's speaking on a mobile phone that ostensibly belongs to the same innocent Kalio.
That was the last time nilisikia sauti yake. So from there simu hazikuwa zinashikwa.
What time is this now?
Around 8 p.m. onwards. Simu hazikuwa zinashikwa, nikajaribu pia namba ya hiyo Ino, niambia hiyo namba alikuwa amecall nayo ya Ino. Pia hazikuwa zinashikwa. So at around 10 p.m. wakati sana nilikuwa naenda kulala. And then nikamtext, that was a text message. Nikamwambia, hope everything is okay. I'm going to bed but I don't know your whereabouts. So the following day I passed by her place kucheck in case maybe kama alikuwa na spare key yenye alikuwa mbeba extra. Maybe nilibahatisha tu kupitia kwake. Nikienda on my way to school but the gate was locked. Alafu pia mlango yake pia ilikuwa locked. Huyo the caretaker wao mwenye alikuwa na hapo hivyo ndo alikuwa around the mother but sikumwongelesha. So after hapo hivyo, after my first paper ilikuwa inaanza 7 a.m. Ndio nika call, the first person I called was, his name was Walter. Ni friend, I guess childhood friend to Krizo. So ndo nikamuuliza like kama waliongea na Krizo. Kanambia they talk but aliniambia like walikuwa na plan kumit na Innocent. But ajui ni lini like walikuwa na plan kumit na Innocent. Nikamwambia walienda kumit jana but mimi simpati kwa simu hazishikwi. So nikamwambia nilikuwa nadhani Innocent huyu Walter alikuwa anasoma JKUAT. So nilikuwa nadhani maybe alipitia huko JKUAT. Ile tu kudhani tu. So tukarudi kwa nyumba. So nothing. Alafu venye pia nilikuwa nimechoka. So nilikuwa nimejiekelea. Nikalala around afternoon hours.
All this time, Sylvia had not contacted Ambani's family. Even though she had reason to do so, she still believed in the girl code of secrecy. What really was she going to report anyway?
So the first person nilipigia alikuwa Ruth.
She was so distressed. She called me and said, I think something is wrong with Kristen. Kristen went to meet Kalio in Githurai. She was not supposed to take more than 1 hour. She was just going to pick something that Kalio had promised to give her. So later when she tried to reach her, because now she has missed exams, and then she's not picking her calls.
I got a phone call from the sister, that is Mercy Ambani, who asked me when I last talked to Krizo. We normally used to call her Krizo. I told her I talked to Krizo the other week on Thursday, and we agreed that the next talking would take place on Friday after she had done her exams. Then she told me Krizo was at large, her phone was off, she was not at the site where she was staying with a cube mate. So I went back to the phone to call her and it was not going through. So the first thing I did, I called my pastor, shared with him the news and requested for his prayers.
As the family prayed, a lot of sinister things were happening. On that Tuesday, Christine's phone had gone on a frenzy of activities. As the rest of her classmates wrote an early morning paper, at 8 or 9 a.m., she posted a WhatsApp status asking her viewers to, quote-unquote, emit positivity, for tomorrow isn't promised, end of quote. She went further to view a couple of other people's statuses on WhatsApp and Facebook and texted a few more.
Sasa ndo tukaanza kuona ma red flags, like tunamtafuta na yeye naye anapost. Ukipiga namba iko off but iko active WhatsApp.
It was on the same Tuesday that innocent Makoha Kalio, the Mount Kenya University student that Christine reportedly went to meet, called Sylvia. She says they spoke for a couple of minutes, twice that day.
A strange number ikanipigia na nikareceive. So like kusikiza sauti ni sauti ya Innocent. Ananiuliza like Kriza wako wapi? So mimi nikamuuliza, unaniuliza Kriza wako wapi? Na wewe ndio ulikuwa na Kriza.
Murder Tips has gotten hold of that phone conversation and can now broadcast excerpts of their interaction.
Hello. Hello. Yes, right.
Yep.
Najua she's with you. She was with you yesterday, unaona? Lakini kama angekuwa point blank aseme tu ni hivi na hivi. So unaona sasa like aingekuwa wewe.
Na why you do trust her? Cheki. Ndako realize vitu hapa hivi. Why would you trust her?
Na sasa ona whether I look hata nikuulize aje.
Ajibu ni tu yes or no. Kama ulikuwa na yeye jana. Kama ulikuwa na yeye jana.
Stop kunifix kwa mambo yenu. Muendelee na uho wenu. Na kama this the trend, unacheki slide, nitakukosea. Mhoko si mbali. And if you think
No. You can't threaten me if you want. You even you can just come tomorrow if you want. You come today. Mimi nakwambia the reality how things are. Then unaanza hapa hivi kuni threaten. You can't threaten me.
Don't be stupid. Have I threatened you in which way?
Down in Musanda village, Kakamega, and up in Nairobi, the Ambanis were by now beginning to feel the awkward sense of danger. Ruth traveled from Umoja in Nairobi, where she had arrived just a day earlier, to Mwihoko, meeting up with Sly. The two ladies and a male friend then went to Krizo's house one more time.
We went there, we checked the house was locked. We went to Mwihoko police station, made a report.
Walter was a friend to Christine and Sylvia. He schooled at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, JKUAT. He died 3 months after this incident. Christine would then post one more round of statuses at 12:16 p.m. on that Wednesday. One of the pictures was of her with innocent Kalio. In this photo, she claimed to be alive somewhere and enjoying life. After finding no signs of Christine at her bed-sitter, Ruth, Sylvia, and Walter decided to inform police that Christine is missing. But on their way to Mwihoko police station, something very strange, yet more worrying and telling, happened.
On our way, when we were going, is when a message came through to our family WhatsApp group.
The person who claimed to be her captor wanted 83,000 in the next 3 hours. The time was 14:51 hours. Whoever it was appears to have read several of Harlan Coben's thriller crime novels. Their messages were boastful as they were full of mistakes, grave mistakes that the family couldn't pick up at the time. Perhaps one person who was very far away at the time but picked up a lot of inconsistencies was Mercy Ambani, a high school teacher in Kakamega and the eldest daughter of the Ambani family. She tells Murder Tips that whoever was texting them was not interested in the money they were asking for.
And there was a long story written there about Krizo, and we were given a few minutes to send money. If we are not sending money, then her life will be taken away.
Now the last message was, send money, you'll get the bones of Krizo. I don't know, they are going to put in the sulfuric acid. Yani they were tormenting messages.
Now pay attention. The person texting the family went ahead to claim that Christine was a promiscuous person. That apart from the 83,000 Kenya shillings debt, Christine had been in a relationship with an older man who had helped her start a cosmetic shop. sent her 20,000 Kenya shillings rent money and some 67,000 more. The problem is that Christine had no cosmetics shop. The alleged kidnapper sent screenshots of these transactions. The screenshots showed the M-Pesa transaction cost of 67,000 to be 300 shillings, a complete fabrication. The sender claimed that the sponsor was angry after learning that Christine frequented Thika to see another boyfriend. The boyfriend in Thika was Innocent Kalio. Take great note of that part. The other problem was the messages themselves. These messages were coming in on Wednesday, July 14th, 2021, appearing to trade Christine's life with the 83,000 Kenya shillings. But one more important thing to note is that Christine had been killed inside room number 12 of Touchline Bar and Restaurant 2 days earlier, on Monday night at about 8:30 p.m. and her body removed to the city mortuary the same night.
So they left in the morning in the house with the brother, other brothers who stay in Nairobi. They went and they left him with one of the brothers to Christine. We stayed in the house since the morning. They had promised that they are going to the Safaricom. Then after that, they would come to pick me so that we now go and ascertain where she was. They never came back. I kept on calling. They were saying, "We are coming, ma'am. We are coming. We are coming. We are coming." I told the elder brother that I was having the house. My conscience is now telling me something's wrong. Because someone cannot disappear right from Monday. Today is a Friday, and we are not able to tell her whereabouts.
Most of the witnesses police relied on to place Innocent Kalio at the scene of the brutal killing were the staff of the guest house at Githurai. You're watching Murder Tips. We take a short break. Time police officers from the divisional headquarters at Kasarani were taking over the case, they had a number of circumstantial leads. They settled on Innocent Kalio Makoha as the suspect in the murder of Christine Ambani. Before that, Innocent had been the first person to mourn the death of Christine Ambani. His tribute appeared more of an alibi than just a post. Innocent appeared to state where he was at the time of the killing and how he was never close to Christine Ambani that day. But it didn't take long before the police connected the student with the murder. Innocent was placed at the heart of the killing because of a few things. The first was the testification of Sylvia. She told the police and later the court that she took Christine to meet Innocent Kalio. She described the entire scenario as it unfolded.
Maybe I'm very sure it was Innocent.
Going back right now and looking at everything, is it possible alikuwa ameenda kuona mtu mwingine na sio Innocent?
No. Because before we left, previous night before we left, like waliongea na na I was there. So like me wakiongea ile unanyamaza tu unashughulika na vitu zao, but I was sure nile tulikuwa tunashare kila kitu. So I guess hapo hivyo ndio maybe alikuwa anajua whatever they're saying ni between them. But we used to share a lot with Rizzo. So like nilijua mimi, I'm very sure it was Innocent. Hata before tutoke kwa nyumba, kumbuka they were supposed to meet a certain restaurant hapo hivyo Mumbi. But ndo alichange plan. Mimi najua sauti ya ilikuwa through same ya Rizzo, but najua it was Innocent anaenda kuona.
So we went to the inbox of Innocent to tell her, Innocent, we know the games you are playing with us. You are using Rizzo's phone to chat with us, and from the DCI, your phone and Rizzo's phone is on the same location. Now what you do, just bring us a proof of life. Just send us a picture to show Krizo is still alive, then we will send you the balance. I think that is what marked the end of the communication. Because later, the following day, he sent us a message to tell us he had received the 5,000 and then the rest of the money we can use for burial.
He or the person on the WhatsApp group?
The person who had taken over Krizo's account. But for us, we know and we are sure it was innocent.
And then there was this emoji. While Christine never used it in any of her chats, on that Tuesday morning, she posted a status using it. Only that at this time, she was dead for over 12 hours. But this emoji had appeared on several posts made by Innocent Kalio on WhatsApp and Facebook. Homicide detectives Ben Kongani and Sergeant Patrick Buire then successfully triangulated mobile phones belonging to Innocent and Christine. The two detectives then saw that while Innocent did not have his official SIM card, he had his handset with him and was at the same location as Christine Ambani on that Monday evening. Then Innocent Kalio went missing from the public life, hiding kilometers away in Chokar. This, police believed, he had something to hide. Back at the Touchline Club, the rooms were upstairs, and downstairs is a club reverberating from the Kenwood speakers' loud music from Mugithi Stars. With no customer details written on receipts and no CCTV cameras, this was the perfect place to kill anyone. Sheila Imali was a waitress at the club. At the time, 31 years old, Sheila was only 2 months at the club when the tragedy struck. She was many things at the outlet. She reported daily at 8 a.m., conducted some general cleaning, served drinks to customers, and booked guests to rooms. Sheila told police that the rooms are booked at 500 shillings during the day and an extra 500 for the night period running from 5:30 p.m. She said she's the one who booked Innocent and Christine in the said room twice. The lady told police that at about 8 a.m. when she arrived, Innocent came to the club, booked a room, and left, promising to come back later with a friend. At about 12 noon, he indeed came back with Christine, and the duo proceeded to room number 12 to have their moment. It is therefore believed and now remains to be true that Christine Ambani and Innocent Kalio spent their time in room number 12 from 12 noon all the way to about 8 p.m., engaging in steamy moments of sexual intercourse all the while. But nobody could ever imagine the trouble, the humiliation, and the hate with which the 23-year-old girl was just about to be taken out with. At 5:30 p.m., Sheila ended her shift, but the club was busy, and tomorrow, Tuesday, is her off day. It was not until about 8 p.m. that she handed over duties to one Patrick. Patrick Katunga Makoma, at the time 25 years old, was the cleaner at the said club. He also doubled up as the night security guard and booked rooms for clients during the night after Sheila leaves. By the time the waitresses were leaving at 10 p.m., only one room, room number 13, was unoccupied. Patrick tells police that on opening the door for the ladies to go home, he met a lone client who requested for a room. After booking him in room number 13, he noticed that room number 12 was locked from the outside. It was upon opening door number 12 that he realized that there has been a murder.
Nikamuinua bracket, nikaona huyu mtu ananibeba wana. Unaona ile? Unaona mtu anakubeba wana unamuita hataki kuamka. Kama saa kucheka house. Nikachukua bracket. Nilichukuanisha na kisu, my friend. Mi kutoka hapo kichwa iliharibika wazi.
Kisu ilikuwa kwa kichwa.
Sasa sikujua kama kisu ilikuwa imefichwa kwa blanketi. Ndio unaona nilienda kushika blanketi hivi, nikainua na ile uju. Wewe amka bwana.
Yani ile unaambia mtu wewe.
Bas, exactly.
Then there was Josephine Maraga, the lady on the counter, whose sole job was to account for the monies the club alcohol and accommodation was making. Josephine told police that shortly before she left for home at about 20-30 hours, Innocent left the club saying he had gone out to buy some food. Josephine did not see him come back. She also identified Christine Ambani as the lady who had come to the counter at 4 p.m. to buy a bottle of Kibao, a local alcohol brand. This is where you need to remember Sylvia saying Crizo had said she was high on something.
Then I told her, pia we kuja na hiyo kituve, chukua, twende exam tukiwa happy hot.
It is not clear, even to murder tips, if Christine had on her own decided not to sit for exams that Monday. After all, there were no signs that she was being held against her will. From time to time, Innocent or Christine would go downstairs to make an order. On 29th July 2021, Inspector Sylvester Masika received Sheila Imali and Josephine Maraga at the Kasarani police station and conducted an identification parade. That was between 12:10 p.m. and 12:57 p.m. The duo separately picked out Innocent Kalio from a team of 10 prisoners as the man they had served the drinks and a room at the Touchline Bar and Restaurant. The case against Kalio could now begin. Christine and Kalio described themselves as lovers. Kalio says they had begun seeing each other immediately after primary school in 2012. Kalio's statement to police, recorded at 3 p.m. on the 27th of July 2021, says that he regrets killing Christine. In the very final hour, before Christine was brutally stabbed to death, Kalio's confession to police says that the Kiriri Women's University supply chain management student had taken several shots of Kibao, and at that point, Kalio says she began to undermine him, and that he snapped, got a knife, and stabbed her, leaving her for dead. Then another friend of Christine comes into the picture, a police officer. It is believed that the police officer and Christine Ambani also had a romantic friendship, and that a phone call to Christine inside room number 12 at the Touchline Bar and Restaurant that very night may have cost her life.
When Crizo had met Innocent, there is another guy also, police. He comes from down here. He was pursuing Crizo for a relationship. So he called Crizo. He called Crizo, maybe they wanted to talk, I don't know. But that is what we received from the DCI. When Innocent was confessing he's the one who did it. So he called Crizo, I think they were to communicate. Na kukaanza kukua na kuvurutana. Crizo was pulling the phone, hautaongea na yeye, and Innocent was saying, I want to talk to that guy. So iyo kuvutana, I think he got mad, and Crizo underestimated Innocent. So Innocent, what he did, he just locked the door, akamfungia because walikuwa ashaingia kwa room, and he went down, akaleta kisu. But that guy was even kwa burial.
But when Kalio spoke to Chief Inspector Henry Karuga, he denied ever meeting Christine, appearing to show that his confession may have been forced. The boy from Shikalame in South Wanga told the Chief Inspector Karuga that he never met Christine that day. Innocent told the Chief Inspector that on the material day, he woke up and found a missed call from Christine. The call had been placed at 3:23 a.m. That at 7 a.m., she called again, and said she was just checking on Kalio. Krizo told him she's busy that entire Monday with exams and won't be online until late in the evening. At 4:30 p.m., Kalio says Christine texted him saying should Sylvia call, he should tell her that he is with her. Quite confusing. In short, if Sylvia calls, tell her, I am with you. If this context is true, then Christine wanted to make a case for herself that she's out with innocent Kalio when she actually wasn't. Innocent says that on the same day at around 7 p.m., he was in a matatu when Christine requested for 1,000 Kenya shillings, saying she was stranded. Innocent tried to inquire, but she didn't give details. Innocent says he just sent the money and that no other communication happened because she went offline. That is Innocent's defense that complicates the case. Sylvia has also admitted that at no single time did she speak to Innocent or hear him on the other side of the call the entire time when Christine claimed to be with Innocent somewhere in Githurai. However, the DCI even says that at one point, Innocent's phone goes off and he inserts his SIM card in Christine's phone. Those arguments are set to play out in court. Now, you see, Christine Ambani and Innocent Kalio were no strangers. The two came from well-educated backgrounds. Both Innocent and Christine's mothers are teachers, and apart from their relationship being known to Christine's sisters, the duo had been taught by Grace Chitechi, Christine's mother.
I came to know them, to know their relationship when it was during her birthday, and Christine made a phone call where she talked to me and she wanted to introduce someone to me. So personally, I didn't have a physical interaction with Innocent, but we were able to speak via phone during her birthday. And I think that birthday was celebrated at our home.
This is a boy I taught. I taught this boy. I'm a teacher. I taught this boy in class 7. Then after that, they went on with his education and joined the university. Then one time, I think it was in 2019 when he set ablaze the family. 2019, we were told that our whole family had been set ablaze. So during that funeral is when I came to realize, I was told by the elder sister that the boy in question, who is being suspected to have burned the brother and the wife, plus the child, and the wife was also pregnant, giving us a total of 4 people, was a boyfriend to Krizo. So I was surprised. So by that time it was being suspected. Now I asked him, how had you known? Sema, the boy was complaining that the mother had loved the elder brother so much to his expectations, against his expectations. So I called Krizo and asked her, this rumor I'm hearing, is it true? Is it true that the boy is called Innocent? Is it true that Innocent, you are befriending Innocent? She accepted. Then I asked her, have you heard what is being speculated that he has done? She said yes. Then I told her, now you have to avoid her like leprosy, because if he has the guts of burning, setting ablaze his own brother, and a wife with a child and a wife who is pregnant, then who are you? So I gave that advice as a mother. So it was her now to decide. Yeah. And even the sisters told her the same thing. If she has burned their own brother, then she can do any other thing to you.
And I would say Christine was selfless, because as much as Innocent was arrested at Kakamega prison, you'll find Christine could spend some money or some time to go to the prison just to visit Innocent. Because by the time Innocent was at the prison, there was a case with the family and some killings that had been done.
The case with the family that Mercy Ambani is talking about was not a simple matter. It was no laughing matter. Innocent Kalio, himself a son to a high school deputy principal, was suspected of arson. He was questioned in connection with the burning of his brother, the brother's wife, and their child inside a house. It is that case that the DCI in their statement say they have no details on how Innocent had left prison.
That time, the person who had taken account of Crizo, he posted a picture with Crizo having different men and telling people like, don't worry about me. I'm just feeling cold and enjoying myself somewhere with someone. She had so many friends, and not just girls, even boys. During Crizo's birthday, you'll find so many people around here, young guys, so many of them. But I knew this one guy, among the posts that they were put on Crizo's status, this guy, Innocent, didn't know him. It's only me who know that guy. He was our neighbor. So I asked Innocent, do you know Dan? He told me, yes, I even know Dan. He has even come to the prison to visit me, to ask me why you people as a family have even arrested me, and yet I was Crizo's boyfriend. I called Dan myself. I asked Dan, you mean you know Innocent? You have even gone to the prison where he has been arrested just to check on him. And Dan said, I even don't know who is Innocent. I've not even visited him. So at the end, I get like Innocent was doing a lot of mind games.
And the mind games didn't stop there. I should have told you already that when this murder happened in 2021 and my editors put me on it, I immediately went to social media to find clues. Innocent Kalio is the only person who had since posted a condolence message. I sent him a message requesting him for an interview. At this time, I had no idea he was a suspect in the case. But even before he shared his number with me and before we could conduct the interview, I was shocked to learn that he had been posting on his WhatsApp status how successful the interviews to exonerate him had been.
He was even appreciating you. Not just like you had an interview, but on his status he was even appreciating you for understanding him, for understanding his story as much as other people had crucified him for what he had done.
Where should I seek for justice? For the loss that I incurred. This girl was supposed to be graduating in the year 2021. The same year she died, she was supposed to be graduating in December. And she's killed in July. So where do I run for justice? That's a question I'm asking the judiciary in this nation. Where am I going to get the justice? For my daughter whom I invested in. She was killed and it has gone like that.
The trial of Innocent Kalio is still open and has stalled for the third year now. Innocent Kalio, on the one side, accused of the brutal murder, and the family of Christine Ambani, brutally murdered in that July of 2021, are waiting for justice. Thanks for watching. Good evening.